ARTFARM is a new theater organization here in Middletown. That's we started it in 2001, so it's not quite that new, but we did one production in 2001, then had two babies. So it's just coming back to life now, and this is our first main stage production.
But now did spurn me with his foot to call me goddess, nymph, divine, and rare.
Shake thee from me like a serpent!
Why are you growing so rude? What changes this sweet?
Oh, thy love out, tawny daughter, out!
Up and down, I will lead them up and down. I am feared and filled and town. Goblin, lead them up and down.
Quail, crush, conclude, and quail!
Environmental sustainability. You talk. You talk. You're better than me.
So basically, our ARTFARM's mission is high-quality theater with a commitment to simple living, environmental sustainability, and social justice. For us, the components of doing work within the community and for the community through the arts it's all relative in terms of how we utilize our resources, how we educate ourselves and the people around us. So part of the vision, we hope to have a piece of land, hopefully, ideally, somewhere in Middletown or in the surrounding area, where we will set up a performance and a workshop space as well as a retreat center. And that would allow, if it had a pastoral setting, a place where people could take a walk, wander off into the woods, enjoy some of the open space, as well as ideally we hope to have some agriculture happening, some organic agriculture on the land. And you know, in many ways we could see something in the summer times, like interns who may be working with us during the summertime, working on the organic garden in the morning and running the light board at night.
Be it so. She will not hear consent before your grace to marry with Demetrius.
We're doing a Midsummer Night's Dream, which is, Dick is directing and I'm one of the actors in the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the final night of the first year of ARTFARM's Shakespeare in the Grove.
Beautiful space. We're performing out at Middlesex Community College, right here out in the open. It's a beautiful grassy slope for the audience, surrounded by a forest and a background of pine trees and looking over the Connecticut River Valley. And we've really been able to bring together a group of seasoned performers at the core and trained community members. And as a matter of fact, in the supporting roles, there are 10 or 11 former students of ours, which is really exciting, which is a part of the vision of having, again, professionals working with pre-professionals and young people interning, which has been very exciting. And the production seems to be pretty well received. It's a very physical production.
Midsummer Night's Dream is kind of the logical play to start with, doing outdoor Shakespeare. That, you know, most of it takes place in the forest. It's magical. It's very family friendly. It's got a story that kids can latch onto, that adults can love, and we've done it in a very kind of circus oriented, very physical way, and included things, you know, like fire elements and other natural elements that I think really give it just a resonance outside and have really created a sacred space and a circle that the audience has really felt when they've come to see it.
And Robin shall restore amends.
Really, it's interesting, the feedback that we've gotten is that there are Shakespeare aficionados who are coming out and saying, I've seen this done in different parts of the world, and really responding so positively to this. And also kids from 3 and 4 years old to their teenagers saying they were rapt, they were understanding it. And that feels really important to us, I think, as artists and as educators, that particularly with Shakespeare, that it's accessible. It needs to be performed by people who understand what they're saying and are committed to being alive and present in the language and in the context, so that anybody who's experiencing it is going to be able to participate in the ideas and the joy, and take some of those ideas and walk away with them. And there's entertainment, but there's thought behind it too. And I think that also ties into some of the other things that we hope to do that are content related. We really see ourselves, seeing this outdoor Shakespeare, hopefully as an annual event, but also again our commitment to new works. So it's a balance between the classics and really feeling like we want to address content material that's relevant to the community that we're working in and working with.
Why did they run away?
A privilege never to see me more.
She was a vixen when she went to school.
Ah!
Even little, she is fierce.
Die! Oh! Die! Oh. Die! Die! Dagger! Dagger! Die! Die! Die!
And we've had this eco-festival that's been tied in with the whole event, which was, again, it was a lot to embark upon in this first real year of a main stage production, but it felt important to us if we were going to go to the effort of drawing people in for the Shakespeare work, that meeting and being in line with our mission, that you sort of walk through this little forest of ecologically minded organizations, like Connecticut Forest and Park Association, the City of Middletown's recycling program. There's a program called Roots and Shoots. There's some kid-involved, components, like the recycled art areas. There's fairy face painting and coloring of Bottom and Titania from A Midsummer Night's Dream, and you can learn about composting. And then we've had performers as well that have joined in. There have been some Aboriginal dancers and didgeridoo players. We've had accordion players and keyboardists and banjo players wandering, as well as circus performers, stilters and jugglers and unicyclists.
Right? Every night there's been a sort of a headliner, a main stage performer who gives a half-hour set before the show on the stage itself, and every night it's been somebody who's got a real local following and is a show in and of themselves.
Shine on. There'll be time enough for darkness when everything's gone. Shine on. Shine.
It's really sort of an overall experience. You may set up your picnic blanket and have a little picnic, dabble it a little bit in the festival. Maybe there's a vendor or two you're interested in, and take in some music, and then boom, you're off and running with some high quality live Shakespeare.
Would have shed water out of fire, done.
It'd be very limiting.
It would, but it could be, funny. We are really trying to develop a resident ensemble theater company, and that would really be comprised of a small number of area professional theater people, mostly who spend their time teaching and who for some reason or another have chosen to live in Connecticut, whether they're raising children or have chosen to work at a particular arts organization in the area as educators, and yet really are still performers at their heart. And so we're looking to develop some original work as well as possibly adapt some classical pieces. We also tour to schools, have a couple of touring shows, and do residencies. Right now we have a show, Shakespeare's Argument, that's a 4-person, 60-minute Shakespeare sampler that's really exciting for high school age students and college students.
Such remedy as to save a head, to cleave a heart in twain.
But is there any?
Yes. Brother, you may live. There is a devilish mercy in the judge if you'll implore it that will free your life.
There's a new one-man show called The Immigrant, which is a sort of a clown piece, a physical theater piece, looking at immigration to the United States through the eyes of a clown.
We're just getting going in this community, and we've both been working in this community for a long time. I've been here for 25 or 30 years, and Marcella's been here about 10 years, and so Art Farm has been a vision that we've had for about the last 7 or 8, and have been sort of slowly cooking up and finally letting it out of the bag this summer, and it's been a real thrill. We'd like to stay in Middletown, or at least in the, close by in this sort of central Connecticut area. But, we'd like to be a resource for Middletown.
Dick was the artistic director of Oddfellows Playhouse for a very long time. He joined there back in 1977, 78, and has been working with young people in this community for almost 30 years. And, I think we feel very committed to the people in this community and continuing to work in this community. And it's been absolutely remarkable, the kind of community support that has come out as Art Farm has, sort of blossomed and come out into the open, particularly with this production. There have been countless volunteers, so many individuals and organizations that have stepped forward to donate their time and money and resources. We just feel so blessed. And even in the first weekend, we're doing a Midsummer Night's Dream this summer, and the first weekend having 1,200 people come out to see this is so much in part due to the fact of the people that support us and word of mouth, and places like Liberty Bank standing behind us and investing in us and helping us promote through posters and emails, and getting us onto radio stations through Middlesex Community College, the Middletown Commission on the Arts. These organizations standing behind us, even though in essence we're new as an organization, but as artists and leaders and activists in the community, we've been around for a little while, and we're pretty honored and amazed and feel pretty blessed that people have been standing behind us. Art Farm. Theater, simple living, activism.